Well, now it's turn for the Spanish colleagues. Now we have three Spanish colleagues. Brief presentations for them, a little bit different. Try to figure out how we work in Spain. The first one is Professor Carlos Lago, a full professor from the University of Vigo. He's expert in soccer and team sports, mainly in soccer. And now, Carlos, it's your time for showing the way that you investigate.
Thank you, Miguel. Hello, everyone, and good morning from Spain. As you can see in the slide, I am going to talk about how to transfer the research knowledge in soccer. During the last years, I have been working in three different lines. The first one is to help coaches to improve the quality of their training methods. I have published several books with a very clear objective: to give coaches simple strategies to make the players better. So as you can see, this is the index of one of my books. Very clear ideas. For example, how to design a session, the sandwich technique, control the task scoring, how to provide feedback. That is, we have to provide clear strategies to coaches, because I think that we have to develop research. We have to provide very clear ideas to coaches. For example, this is the idea of this book. Instead of asking for concentrations, inform players about the aspects of the game they should pay attention to. Give them one piece of information at a time. Another idea: the players must succeed during the sessions. So I provide different indications in order to design good sessions, in order to design good exercise. What has to be done in the session? We must explain which are the fundamental points they must pay attention, adjust the difficulty of the task, or reinforcing the athletes positively. My second line is to design different software in order to help coaches in their duty of studying group collective behavior in soccer. Let's see an example.
In this video, we present our study,
Is the
whose
sound
aim is
okay?
to capture group tactic behavior in player tracking data from soccer
Miguel.
matches and expose it to analysts and other stakeholders.
Miguel, the
Here
sound
we
is
can see the
okay.
prototype,
It's okay.
showing its two main blocks, the virtual player on the left and the analysis area on the right. The virtual player presents the animation of the positional data related to both teams, so the analyst can have a realistic picture of what happened during the game. We can also change the animation speed to skip irrelevant parts or discover patterns and key events without having to wait. We can visualize individual metrics for selected players. At the top, we have the speed evolution chart. At the bottom, we present distances covered at the 4 different paces for each player. The virtual player automatically scrubs to the relevant instant that was clicked in the chart. We can also perform zooming and panning to get a higher level of detail when required. When there is something that catches our attention, we can adjust the time interval by moving the selection handles placed at the bottom of the page. This way, we can focus only on the parts of the game that are relevant to the situation being analyzed. In our example, we focus on the first 9 minutes and a half of the game. Now that we have refined our search, we can add the 2 attackers of the red team to the individual analysis area and compare their performance in the chosen interval to the one of the 2 defenders previously selected. Here we can see the comparison showing how the 2 attackers covered slightly more distance in the same time than the defenders. We can also apply a filter by selecting a specific portion of the field. Here we can see the stats for the player number 36 of the yellow team in the first 9 minutes of the game. We select the portion of terrain that is enclosed between the penalty area and the middle of the field and update the stats for the player number 36 again. Now only positional data that falls into this zone is used to generate the chart. We can also see the moments in which the player left the selected area depicted by the sloping lines in the chart. Lastly, we can represent the areas of influence of a certain player by using heat maps. Here we can see the heat map for player number 36 positions the game, in the first 45 minutes of game. We can change this heat map to show only areas covered at certain paces, in this case running and sprinting. Now we will pay attention to group analysis. A variable number of players can be added to a certain group to visualize its associated metrics, like the effective playing space and team length. Here we calculate the stretch index for a group of 5 players in an interval of 45 minutes. In the chart we can identify key plays by going to the peaks and analyzing the different game situations at those times in the virtual player. We can select time intervals in the same way we did for individual analysis. Here we will compute distances of 2 players to the center of its group and show them on the chart. We can also compare 2 groups of players in the charts. Here we add a group of 4 defenders of the red team and compare their performance in the selected interval to the one of the other group. Individual and group analysis can be combined at any time as shown in the video, being this one of the strengths of the proposed prototype. With our proposed tool, we aim to reduce the cognitive load involved in the process of analysis of soccer matches by offering a set of visualizations that can effectively enhance the finding of meaningful conclusions based on the provided datasets.
With this prototype, we can calculate different measures as entropy or phase analysis. So probably this is a very interesting prototype because we can provide new measures of collective behavior in soccer. We have the possibility of show different images in order to identify moments of low coordination between players. My first, the last line is for me to work with different institutions and soccer government bodies like Spanish La Liga, Barça Innovation Hub, or the Spanish Federation. I am working right now with La Liga, and I provide reports analyzing different aspects of the age and decline in physical performance, or match running performance in soccer, differences between the first and the second half. Or with the Barça Innovation Hub, we provide different strategies, different ideas in order to increase the quality of the training methods. And finally, with the Spanish Federation and regional federations, I have provided a guide to identify how can we train in this context with the coronavirus. That is, which exercise, which ideas, which has a problem with some exercise or not. That is, we have to do a very important effort in order to go from the laboratory to the pitch. So for me, if we are not able to do this effort, we are going to have problems in order to be useful for coaches. So many thanks, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Carlos. Thanks for figuring out your main research lines, and mainly the approaches that you are doing for technologies and training in soccer. I think that the technologies are close similar to the approaches that Victoria University and Yes Cook University are doing and developing, and I think that it could be a starting point for a cooperation with all you guys.